Our first guest tonight to discuss the Justice Department and the FBI's credibility crisis and the troubling claims that political bias didn't sway the FBI's conclusion on the Clinton email probe. Joining us tonight, Chris Farrell, Director of Investigations and Research for Judicial Watch. Chris, good to have you here. Let's start with that bizarre opening to the report in which it sounded like a James Comey rationale for not investigating, as the Inspector General's report begins by saying there's all sorts of bias, but we don't think the bias in any way influenced the outcome and the direction of those investigations.
It's the worst example of intellectual dishonesty, and frankly, they're just telling lies. So let's call it what it is. They generate a report, they document numerous instances of reckless language, and not just language. Look, these people were plotting and were prepared to act. You have Strzok saying that we'll stop him, meaning President Trump. Right. Well, who's we? I want the answer to that. And they go through all this, pages and pages of rationalization, how it really isn't such a big deal, although it looks very bad. And then, by the way, don't worry about it. This is short of just directly, overtly lying to the American public. It is insulting. It doesn't pass the sniff test. And unfortunately, I mean, there was some pushback, I guess, by Senator Graham today, which was refreshing to hear him step up and ask tough questions. But this is, senior government officials convening and lying to each other. Yeah, it's repulsive.
It is repulsive. It has been throughout, as we saw these drips and drops of information flow out. Horowitz confirming they received a referral, however, from the FBI on the Comey memos, are investigating and will issue a report. Another damn report is, I guess, the headline to that. We're getting a little tired of reports. What we really need is, I think the American people are saying pretty clearly right now, we need to have an FBI that can actually investigate and actually come up with a conclusion, either prosecute or not, and move ahead and do so smartly. This is an FBI that does not function. It doesn't produce intelligent reports. It doesn't do so in anything approaching a timely and efficient manner. What has happened to the old FBI that used to be filled with G-men and women actually getting stuff done?
Two things, Lou. Number one, we need grand juries and indictments. I'm tired of all the talk and all the report writing. It goes nowhere. It's just an attempt to placate the public and put them back to sleep. We need grand juries and indictments. And then point two, look, they're compromised. They're done, finished. There needs to be a United States Marshals special charter or grant given for them to take over these cases and resolve it. The FBI is no longer capable of investigating itself, nor is the Justice Department, nor is Mueller. They're finished. Yeah. You bring in an outside agency, whether it's the Marshals or perhaps some branch or arm of Homeland Security, and you give them the charter to come in with new people, a fresh look, and let's clean this up and get it done.
I'd love to think that that could be done straight away by this president very quickly. I have to tell you, they can't even get a straight answer out of the FBI. They have
I couldn't agree more, but
they have
the time is up. We're finished.
Have a group of corrupt fools at the top of the Justice Department. They seem to be entrenched, and there seems to be little that can be done about it. I have never seen a bigger mess than to sit there and watch Senator Grassley asking, at least at the early stages, pertinent questions, penetrating questions, getting them swatted away by an Inspector General who is not going to vary from his script, and a director of the FBI who is so smug and self-satisfied, I don't think there is any point in bringing him out in front of a committee again, because he seems utterly beguiled by his own immense power as director.
That's why it's time for them to be done with it. You bring in a competent, group it still has integrity and experience in law enforcement, and you simply take this matter away from them because they are compromised, and all that's been done so far has been tainted. That's a gentle word I can use, tainted. But it needs a fresh set of eyes by competent law enforcement, and these folks are now officially disqualified. They're done.